Well, hello everyone. I'm here today with Mike and Laura Cool. They've been becoming more and more active here at Mount Carmel in the last couple of years as volunteers, but have been coming to campus campers for a number of years before that. So, Mike and Laura, would you be willing just to introduce yourself to the Mount Carmel community?
Absolutely. My name's Mike. This is Laura.
Good morning.
Good.
Or hello.
Hello.
Oops.
We're very excited to talk to you guys today. We've been coming to Mount Carmel for a number of years, and Laura's family has been coming to Mount Carmel for decades. You know, talking kind of about some of that history.
Yes, my grandpa what used to teach at Mount Carmel and brought the family, and the families grew up and had kids, and all the kids came, and so we've been doing this for 50 plus years.
And we left our jobs about 2 years ago, and we came to Mount Carmel last spring and volunteered for a couple of months. And we're really excited to be able to volunteer. We had wonderful projects. We spent some time renovating a staff cabin and did some sign building. So we're very excited about the projects and really felt that there was a lot of value, and we felt nourished and encouraged by the work that we were able to do. So we did that last year, and we're looking forward to coming to Mount Carmel this spring in spring of 2024 as well.
So our story was we were looking for more meaning, and we've been married for 15 years now, and a few years into our marriage, we kind of thought that we were doing the double income, no kids, suburban lifestyle, and it felt like we were always busy, and we were looking for meaning. So about a dozen years ago, we started to change our life to make it a little more simple, more frugal, more God-led, God-centered, looking for mentor and mentee relationships. And so those have been our guiding principles. That's what really has been important to me, and so we've just kept on adjusting our life around these principles, and God has led us to where we are here today. Just by doing tiny little changes over a dozen years, we have gone from something that has been less meaningful to have more meaning in life and more rich experiences.
Well, yes, it's been amazing having the two of you here at Mount Carmel, through the years. And of course, last summer, were you here for about 8 weeks last year? So
About
that
eight
was
weeks.
amazing to get to know you during that period. Was a lot of fun, of course, and it allowed you to tackle some of the bigger projects that maybe somebody here just for a day wouldn't maybe be able to do. So as you all enter Mount Carmel this summer, you can thank Mike and Laura for the giant "Welcome to Mount Carmel" sign that's there, and uh, that was a fun project for sure to learn all together how we're going to put that thing in the ground, and definitely enjoyed working with you guys on that. So I guess one of the things I'm hoping to talk about today is some of the volunteer initiatives that we're putting into place this year, and some of the ways that we're giving people more opportunities to come to Mount Carmel, maybe throughout the month of May, for example, and the ways that we're hoping that the Mount Carmel community might just have, access to opportunities to serve Mount Carmel as we prepare to go into the summer season. So, what are some of those events that are coming up in May? Some of the possible ways that people could be helping out at Mount Carmel.
Yeah, absolutely. We're very excited to have volunteers come to Mount Carmel for any length of time at any skill level.
Mhm.
We're in significant need of help in a wide range of projects, but primarily to get the camp ready for campers and family camp to be showing up in the middle of June. And we have three volunteer weekends that are on the website and have been posted on Facebook and email as well. So go ahead and look at those specific dates. But we have three dates, including Memorial Day weekend, where we have a focused effort on getting volunteers to come help get the cabins open, get cabins clean windows, sweeping, and just get the cabins ready and the grounds ready as well. So We look forward to that. We've put a big focus from the board as well as ourselves and the entire staff at Mount Carmel to try to get the word out, to get more volunteers, and we're really excited to get as many people helping as possible. And if those weekends don't work out, feel free to reach out to us. We can work with you if you have more time available, if you are blessed to have a week available or more, or even just other dates other than the weekends that are available. We will very much appreciate and feel blessed by any time that you can give.
And a lot of these projects we can work together, and we'll have Christian community. We can listen to music and have a great time and get to know each other. And so it'll be a fun time getting stuff done and having fun at the same time.
Yep, and we'll have all the materials ready that you'll need, any of the cleaning supplies or brooms or those kinds of things. So really all you have to bring is yourself, and we'll find projects that match your skill levels, your interests, and what you want to spend your time doing.
Yeah, absolutely. And I might just touch on one thing you mentioned, Laura. Of course, it's still Mount Carmel when you're coming here to volunteer for us, and to have fun serving God together in this place. And we'll start each of our days with a short time in the daily texts, and then of course be gathering around meals together and enjoying working together and having great conversations during that time too. I think that is, I spent 4 summers here as a counselor, and now Tim Peterson and I are going into our 5th summer in our current roles, and it's amazing. But some of the best times that I think I've had in this job and in the times that I've worked at Mount Carmel are in the times when you're, scraping a cabin or painting, or you're, cleaning a cabin for the first time in the spring, and taking care of the bugs that have moved in there during the winter and getting it ready. And just, it's very fulfilling work, definitely, to be seeing fruits for your labors. You can really take a cabin a long way in just a few hours, from the winter shutdown to being ready to welcome guests for the summer. So yes, definitely, Mount Carmel's mission of being a place that proclaims Jesus and is a Christian community full of joy and hospitality and is centered on Christ, definitely present in the volunteer times. It's the real deal all year round. And that's one of the ways that we're excited to have you two here. Obviously, your faith is very, very important to you, kind of surrounding why you're spending so much time with us the last summer, and coming back for more this summer. You mentioned a little bit about kind of the why behind your volunteering in various places. Would you be willing to share a little bit more around the why you've decided to spend some time volunteering at Mount Carmel, and maybe some of the other cool organizations that you're spending time with?
Yeah, absolutely. So Laura touched on it a little bit earlier about some of the purpose, and I spent some time reflecting on purpose as well. And as I mentioned earlier, we left our jobs a couple of years ago. It was part of a 10-year plus plan for us to make that transition. We knew that we didn't want to continue working forever, but we had our own expectations and thoughts and plans of what we were planning to do after that. In fact, we were thinking about buying a sailboat and sailing the world, but the Lord had other plans. He knew that He wanted us to be free. We were agreed on that we wanted to leave our 9 to 5 jobs, so to speak. But we were probably disconnected with the Lord on what it meant after that. So we pursued some of our own ideas and plans, and doors continued to shut. We didn't know what we were supposed to do. We felt a little bit lost. We felt like we were floundering a little bit. Everything that we tried to pursue on our own did not work out. And there was a series of plans that, well, if this one doesn't work, maybe we should do this. Well, that didn't work out. So then maybe we should do this, and that didn't work out. We spent some time then really reflecting on our purpose, as Laura was talking about. And I remember specifically at Mount Carmel last spring, trying to figure out what our purpose is. We spent some time reading The Purpose Driven Life. That was very helpful. It spurred a lot of internal questions and reflections, but really spent time in the Word, spent time in prayer, spent quiet time with the Lord to determine what our purpose is. And for me, it came down to three things. It came to living simply and humbly. After selling our house and most of our belongings, we found that it freed us up to reclaim our time. We were crazy busy. We got to a point where our time was no longer our own. We had things breaking. We had a lot of commitments. It just seemed like we were going from one thing to another all the time. So it allowed us to reclaim that and to live more simply. Second is for us was to make an impact on the community around us. And that doesn't necessarily even mean our neighborhood or our city. It means wherever we are. The skills that we have around building and repairing fit naturally into projects at Mount Carmel, but into other organizations as well. And it's a natural way for us to be able to give back. And I'll talk a little bit more about some of those other organizations in a minute here. But the third purpose that we really focused on was connecting with others. We came to realize through that reflection, and I think even a couple of the sermons at Mount Carmel last spring, is that the enduring value that a person can bring, and probably the most value that a person can bring in their life, is connecting with others. When you pass away at the end of your life, the only thing that's going to remain is how you impacted others, how you made them feel, how you made a difference in their life that can live on. And that, of course, can be in family, that can be in friends, that can be in those that you just meet for a short time. We like to find ways that we can connect closely with others, to be able to share life with them, to be able to share a meal, just to be able to share time together. And through those three purposes, it helped us a little bit shape what wouldn't be the right fit. So we mentioned sailing before, something that we really wanted to do, something that was a passion, but made it more challenging to live out that purpose. And we kind of realized that after the fact, and that the Lord was pushing us in that direction. So it's really helped us. I feel like we've gotten on the backside of some of that uncertainty now. We've been down in Florida for this past winter. We've been volunteering at Habitat for Humanity. That has been a huge blessing for us. We've been able to connect with homeowners who are in the process of putting in their hours. They have a lot of requirements for hours that they have to put in, and sweat equity, and in classes to take to make sure that they're going to be ready to be homeowners. So connecting with them, making an impact with them, making an impact with the workers and even the staff. And there's good community there. It's a wonderful organization, Christian-based organization, and so it's very easy to share God. It's very easy to be able to connect. So it's a wonderful opportunity to do that, and we can make an impact in the community as well. You see the difference that you're making in the community, and we've even had neighbors that come by and thank us for what we're doing, because they say, you're really improving the community. You're really helping invest in this area, and we appreciate it. And it allows us to live simply as well, because we're just able to connect to the community. We're not focused on trying to keep our own home updated. We're able to spend time fixing and building and working on other people's homes. So it's a blessing for us there. So between between working at Mount Carmel for a couple months at a time, it allows us to be fulfilled. It allows us to find our purpose, and we feel that we're at a point where we're walking closer with God on our purpose, and not running into so many dead ends. Anything else to add?
We are hands-on people that love to do construction type work, and so we have really enjoyed working at Mount Carmel and Habitat, learning new things. And with this kind of work, there's a lot of mentor-mentee kind of situations where someone might know a little bit more and they're teaching someone, and then you might come to the next project and then the other person might know more. And we've really feel like there's a a way to grow in your skills and your learning, and also in a relationship working with others. And so that has been really valuable. A few other ways that we've been able to volunteer and learn in different countries. We've been to Panama and Mexico recently. We were able to see how people live a more simple life, and through opportunities such as like teaching English to a few college high schoolers going into college, and doing there was also a project where we were helping a Mexican church with build a Christian library. Through these ways, we've been able to learn more how to live a little more simply sometimes in Hispanic, in these cultures. People live in very small homes, eating very basic food, and very community oriented. You'll see people walking around in the evening, sharing life and catching up with the neighbors. And so I think at Mount Carmel we have a little snippet of that in our crazy American lives for a short time. The time that we get to spend at Mount Carmel, we do get to have meals together, and it is a more simple, quiet time. There's less social media going on, and so I appreciate that Mount Carmel really prioritizes those important family-friendly qualities and tries to minimize other outside influences.
Yeah, wonderful. Thank you for sharing all of that. And it's amazing the super cool experiences you have, and it's fun. Uh, we definitely invite you all to come and meet Mike and Laura, because every time you have a meal with them, you hear some new like crazy fun and fact or adventure that they've been on. So that's, if that's not a selling point in and of itself, to come up and volunteer just to hear some stories, because it's amazing the things that you have gotten to do, just because you've been so willing to be flexible to a degree that most of us have never even considered. So it's really inspiring, definitely, to hear from you and your experiences. Maybe for the people who are listening to this, who are considering, maybe I could come out to Mount Carmel for a day or two, or for a weekend, or maybe they're retired but they don't know like what type of work they'd be able to do, or they don't have a ton of experience. What advice would you have for those people that are kind of listening to this and considering the possibility?
Absolutely. Just come and do it and reach out. We
Yeah.
have opportunities at all skill levels. So everything from picking up sticks and sweeping and washing windows to bigger construction type of projects. Opportunities at all skill levels. We have opportunities for all ages, and we would be excited to just have anyone. And for the volunteer time, we'll be there the entire time from May 1st all the way till when camp starts. So we'll be there to help you with projects, to be able to answer questions, to be able to provide some tips, tricks, and ideas on how to do the projects if you want to try something a little bit more advanced. Or if you just want to do some of the basic projects, we'll be there to make sure that you have all the tools that you need.
Well, amazing. It's been great talking with you today and hearing a little bit about your experience. You mentioned earlier there's a bunch of good information on the Mount Carmel website about volunteering, and we'll try to make it really obvious. If you go to mountcarmelministries.com, you'll see maybe not bright red and flashing, but it'll be very clear where to click on the volunteer information. So I guess before we kind of wrap up our time today, do you two want to share anything else with the Mount Carmel community about volunteering at Mount Carmel, your experiences, or I guess maybe some of the challenges you've overcome in your volunteer efforts?
That's a good question. I think one thing that we try to overcome is when we're working for Habitat, it's pretty straightforward for us. They give you about 5 hours worth of projects, and they do a good job of having leadership in place. At Mount Carmel, it's bigger projects, and it's such a blessing for us. They're both blessings, but to be able to see a transformation at Mount Carmel, and to be able to problem solve, and to be able to think about the projects, and be able to overcome the challenges is such a blessing for us. And last year I mentioned that we renovated a cabin for summer staff, and the cabin was really run down. There was rodent damage. There was a lot. I mean, it was just an old cabin, and we were able to repair all the damage. We were able to replace and sand and paint the floors, put new flooring down. We were able to replace the walls, replace all the furnishings in the bathroom. It was such a visual transformation to be able to see. And I really appreciate the confidence that the Mount Carmel staff had in us to be able to do those projects, to be able to take on that. And we felt the challenge. We felt that it was stuff that made your brain work. Additionally, building the signs, we had a plan in our mind to build the signs. I remember sharing it with you, David, and I shared it with James Steffen, and I think both of you were like, "Oh, we don't quite see it exactly like you do in your mind, but go for it." So we appreciate the confidence that you guys have in us, and we feel the responsibility of doing it right, and it's all backed by God. We know that God has placed us here to do that, and I just want to say we don't always get it right. We don't always get everything 100%, but we appreciate that Mount Carmel was encouraging, that they wanted us to keep trying and to be able to get through those projects. And we're proud of the work that was done, and we're just so pleased that it's such a great connection. You feel worth from the Mount Carmel team. You feel the value and the appreciation. So we thank the Mount Carmel leadership for the opportunity. We feel enriched, and we feel that God has led us. And even though we don't always get everything 100% right, we know that you guys are with us, and we appreciate that.
And I so look forward to meeting you, the new volunteer, and we'll share stories, and we'll have great community together. And any questions you have, we have an answer, or if we don't have the answer, we'll find an answer. We'll have all the equipment you need. And so I would say if there's a little inkling in your mind that this might be something that you want to do, like, go for it. Sign up and give it a try. There's really not much of a risk. You're just spending a little time at Mount Carmel, and you might find a lot of fulfillment out of it personally, and you might feel a sense of accomplishment, and you might learn something from others, and learn something new. So I encourage each and every one of you to try it out.
Well, amen. Thank you guys so much for your time today. And if people do have questions specifically about volunteering, there is an email that they can email. If they're not super comfortable with the website, they can email volunteer@mountcarmelministries.com, all spelled out. And we'll definitely get back to you soon with good information for you. So thank you so much for considering, and may the Lord bless you and keep you as you consider joining us this spring at Mount Carmel.